This week in gaming and tech news.
We've got so much. We had the Xbox Showcase, we had the Nintendo Direct, we had the Apple Showcase, and we have a lot more. So let's get into it. But first, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And if you hate me, you can always unsubscribe. So let's get into it. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go over the Xbox Game Showcase. And let's go over the heavy hitters first. We've got Gears of War, E-Day, and Clockwork Revolution being announced as Xbox console exclusives. It's been speculative for a long time that Xbox are going to bring back exclusives, and I do think it is the right idea, as it's the only way to really get people to buy into a platform. You see that from Sony and Nintendo. I just don't know, are these the games to do it? As someone who played so much Gears of War, I don't know if it's a console seller. I feel like it is a bit of a niche game, but I do think they're trying to bring back their players. The thing I do not like about Xbox is they're still doing this double approach where some games are not going to be exclusive and then some games are, and it's not even clear what. Like with Sony, it's obvious their live service are going to be on all platforms, whereas their single player story games are going to be on their platform. With Xbox, you're getting like Gears of War, Clockwork Revolution on their platform, but then like Halo is not, and that comes out next month. So it's just really confusing. Would probably be their biggest console seller for Xbox. Elder Scrolls 6 coming to exclusive on Xbox, but I don't think that'll happen. And also in this event, whenever I saw Professor, I got really excited. Maybe new Elder Scrolls 6 trailer. No, they just promoted that online, Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. I'm like, what? What are Bethesda doing, man? It's actually just insane how long it takes them to release the game, but hey. We also got a new look at State of Decay 3, which looks really good. Spyro Around Beyond also got announced, which at first I did think we were getting a new Skylanders game, even though I don't think it would do that well, but man, I just thought. Got a new look at the retro Xbox controller and console, and this translucent look looks insane for the 25th anniversary. It just looks really good. I'm not going to buy it just for that, but it's also a limited edition. Renaissance Plague Legacy, Persona 4 Revival, and we also got Persona 6. And I'm not really someone who's into the Persona games, but I know this is quite a hyped game, so yeah. We've got Minecraft Dungeons 2, we've got an update for Minecraft Flight Simulator, Metro 2039, Join Us, which is like a cult game, which could just be jokes to play with friends. Fable trailer, and this is a game that got delayed to February to be out of the way of GTA, but man, this game looks impressive. It's basically like just real life simulator, buying the house markers you can rent, kick people out. It's really impressive if this game runs really well. Got DLC to Doom, we've got Crazy Taxi World Tour, and of course they ended the event showing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which for me it was always, like, I don't play Call of Duty, but I guess it is still probably their biggest IP. That was just some of the things that got announced at Xbox Game Showcase. Now let's get into the Nintendo next. Out of Summer Games Fest, the Switch Direct, the Xbox Game Showcase, and the Sony one, I was probably most hyped for the Switch 2 Direct, just because I thought we could get some absolute bangers. The Switch 2 is over a year now, so I thought this marks the anniversary. They might announce some bangers. And we did get Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, but this is not Nintendo's fault. But it got leaked ages ago, and I wasn't really that hyped to it. I'm not really a big Zelda fan, but this is the best game of all time by reviews. Anything to go by. A heck of an announcement. We also got Dust Blood's closed network test, which this game is still like the most mysterious game. Like what? Like I just want to know what's been cooking from software. This is only on the Switch 2, and it's going to be like a Souls-like PvPvE. We've got Fire Emblem Fortune Way, but some other things we got was Amusha, Way of the Swords, Stellar Blade, which was surprising, I believe that is a Sony game. Go ahead. We got another look at Rayman Legends Retold. So I am actually really hyped to play this game on my Switch. We got Big War, that's just like a really cute indie game. Getting an expansion pass, adding that in it so you can go underwater. We got Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. This game Ninjala 2 is getting so much hate online just because of how it looks, and saying that it's not really doing much for the Switch too. Got a Donkey Kong Challenge, which is a limited time event coming to the Switch online. You can complete challenges and then digital challenge cards. We've got Liza P, we've got a new Devil May Cry, we've got the Switch 2 edition of the Xenoblade Chronicles games, and also Xenoblade Genesis coming 2027. We've got Nintendo Switch Sports Resort coming, we've got RuneScape Dragon Wilds, we've got Final Fantasy Resonance, and a lot of Splatoon Raiders with another Direct coming at the end of June. So yeah, this is definitely a game to keep an eye out for, and just to see if this game is going to pop off. We've got Minecraft Switch 2 edition. Honestly, for third party, I think this Direct was probably as best as it could be. A lot of third party support coming to the Switch 2. I feel like first party missed out, and I don't really care enough about a 3D Mario game. I don't know, I wanted something new, to be honest. I don't know, I might be in the minority, but I just want something new from Nintendo. Not these remakes. And we're getting Splatoon Raiders, so that's just a spin-off. So they're trying something new with that. But or maybe I might just greedy for saying I just want like a new IP. Nintendo trying something really new. One of the most surprising announcements of the Direct was the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, which was like the first time it's been shown, and Nintendo got that, which is surprising to see. So out of all the events, I'd probably say that PlayStation had the best one, and I don't even have a PlayStation, but it did show a lot of good games, and their games look really good. I was a little disappointed from Summer Games Fest, but I felt like all the other platforms wanted to show their own games at their events. And I would say that probably the Nintendo Direct's probably good. I'm going to be playing most of their games because I have a Switch too. I don't think there was anything too exciting for me, but hey, that might just be being greedy, and I don't know, man. I feel like in gaming now everyone wants the bag going, and that you can never have enough. So that's definitely that like social media culture coming in. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of those events. It's been a very busy start of June of all the events. Next, okay, Anthropic has been in the news quite a bit, releasing Mythos, but also not by putting safeguards in place and releasing a model known as Fable 5. Safeguards in place to show, say I prompt it saying, look through this code and how can I exploit it. It'll switch back to an older model, and it'll also say it can't do that. So like safeguards in place, just make it just switch to a different model if it needs, so it's not as powerful. But they said in testing 95% of Fable sessions run entirely on Fable responsive without falling back to Opus 4.8. So sometimes it will just go back to Opus 4.8. But Mythos 5 is still in the Glassrun initiative with select companies having access to it. An article from the BBC says some are worrying the tool is too powerful as it can pose financial security risks. But though, is this just marketing spin? You gotta admit, it's really good marketing saying we've made it so it switches model because it's too powerful, and we've had to put lots of safeguards in place. So I do think Anthropic are really good at marketing themselves. We have our own club if we can access our model. Again, it's like that FOMO. I want to be involved. I want to be involved. I want the model. So it's like, yeah. I do think Anthropic are probably doing this a lot better than OpenAI. But next, okay, it's time for the quick fire now. Valve have just imported 13 tons of VR headsets in one day. So it looks like they're getting all their hardware in the US, ready to sell. They could announce a release date probably any time. Elon Musk is now a trillionaire, following the record-breaking stock market debut of his company SpaceX. Man, this is just insane, man. Can you just give us all some money? No, but I'm joking. But I do think if anyone was going to be a trillionaire, it was definitely going to be him. He has so many companies, so many projects, and he is one ambitious person. Let's just say that. An article from Inside the Gaming saying Microsoft has the possibility of releasing Xbox as its own entity. You've also seen Microsoft do this with companies like LinkedIn. They own LinkedIn, so it could be like that, where Xbox is like own initiative, but it's like still owned by Microsoft. So I guess the reasons they were just maybe they'll have more freedom. Also, Xbox are looking at different methods of getting people involved in gaming with costs up. One suggestion from their new chief strategy officer, Matthew Ball, suggested maybe like an ad-supported gaming, where I believe he's not suggesting that ads are baked in video games. Maybe like you pay the full price of the game, but maybe a cheaper version to have ads. Maybe it's like a Game Pass tier, where after a certain amount of time you have an ad to watch or something. Or maybe the ads are just actually in video games if you don't buy them. Imagine you can buy a game for half price, but there's ads in it or something. I don't know how this would be implemented, but a lot of companies are thinking of how we can price our hardware, especially with all the costs. And I do think maybe monthly schemes or leasing it, Klarna is just going to be popping off. And maybe it'll be like a phone. How many people actually buy their phone outright? It's usually on a contract. Maybe that's just going to be it on consoles. And I know definitely in the UK that's already a thing with partnerships with like the PlayStation. Man, people are just going to be going it even more debt. And I do not think that it's good. I personally believe if you can't afford it outright, you shouldn't be paying it monthly. But it might just be me in that. But Microsoft Project Helix also seems to be targeting a holiday 2027 release. Yeah, maybe next year we'll get new consoles, but even though it's been like so long since the release, I still don't think this generation's even started yet. Also, Xbox are also planning major layoffs in July, because some studios might be shut down with those layoffs. With Xbox apparently losing millions of subscribers when they increase the price of Game Pass, it's definitely not surprising that with a subscription you want more subscribers, you don't want to lose, otherwise it's definitely not working. Nintendo may only won £30,000 off the payout between the legal battle of Palworld, developer Pocket Pair, which is like nothing for Nintendo. They probably lost more from all the legal fees. So yeah, I think this case will be wrapping up. OpenAI bans China-linked ChatGPT accounts that unprovide data center electricity, with OpenAI saying that they banned their accounts to convert influence campaigns targeting US tech and policy debates. So the accounts are apparently using propaganda to promote politics, maybe to create backlash online, and that's why those accounts are banned. Data centers. Amazon's data centers used 2.5 billion gallons of water last year alone, and apparently AI is set to consume 600 billion gallons of water by 2030. And I know it's not like all just clean water. There's apparently Microsoft working on a way to use like just reusing water, and that apparently saves a lot. But man, if you just see those numbers, it's just insane. And you see why people are fighting against AI. SK Hynix claims it will be able to triple its memory chip output by 2034, 10 years sooner than first predicted, which is insane that it was still 10 years. But man, that's been so long, so these prices are not coming down anytime soon. Apparently nearly 1 million passports and photo IDs were left unprotected on the internet, which is just crazy that you can find all this information just on the internet. I said in my last video that Airbender's AAA game was stopping, but apparently I was actually wrong, and there's news that's saying that it isn't cancelled, and there should be news in July. They have even more layoffs at Ubisoft. For them like restructuring some of their offices, with Winnipeg being closed and Belgrade, and employees on other projects coming to different offices. Some of the members working on the Rainbow Six Siege team are being put on other projects. Man, it's not good. But apparently these, I don't know how true this was, but apparently the news was supposed to be under embargo, so the layoff news got released early. But Ubisoft wanted to wait a bit to announce the layoffs. Kalshi, the prediction market operator, will soon ask for you to reveal where you work for some users to tackle insider trading. Man, I was always wondering how they were going to tackle insider trading. Surely that's all this is. The EU orders Meta to open WhatsApp to rival AI chatbots, not to use their own models. Okay, we had also last week we had Apple's WWDC keynote, which is just about AI basically, but some features announced was liquid glass opacity slider. Apps are launching up to 30% faster. AirDrops are going to be faster. You'll be on the new iPhone 17. You'll be able to have dual capture mode on FaceTime calls, so you can use both cameras. The news was that Safari is getting updated with more advanced AI features. Here we get a new AI makeover. The Siri can draw from users' past interactions with the app, understanding images. But they also push the trust and safety with all this working on your app. It's not on the cloud. So I don't think any of this is too impressive. I feel like Gemini's been doing it for quite a while now on Google phones. And also Apple are having the deal with Google to use their model, so I don't think anything that Apple can do, Google's won't be able to do. But one of the crazy features was the secure passwords management. So if you have a weak password, you can get it to automatically update your passwords, which is one of the most... I actually think that's a really cool feature. And that must be really difficult to implement. What if there's a captcha on it? What if you need like a 2FA code? So there's a lot of cases I see this not working. So if this does work seamlessly, I think it's amazing, but I do think we still need to be able to see how it's tested. One of the biggest VR developers in the business closes its studio. I just don't think VR ever took off, but Vertigo Games, who published Arizona Sunshine, The 7 Kids VR, the Thief VR Legacy of the Shadow, and Metro Awakening, has closed its studio in Amsterdam. And they say that VR market remains a challenging space, and after careful consideration, we've made it difficult to close Vertigo Studios in Amsterdam. Google has signed a $920 million monthly compute deal with SpaceX. And finally, some indie devs are mixed on Steam's latest redesign over visibility complaints with Steam rolling. Some indie developers are worried that the new popular up-and-coming page will purchase games with more buzz than it did previously and will hurt indie visibility, which I think is a fair complaint. But that's this week's gaming and tech news, and I'll see you in the next one.
The latest gaming and tech news every week, keeping nerds up to date. Yeah, you know the rest.